Hey guys, welcome back. So, I think by now you know that we're going to Africa for the vacation. And when we were planning this trip, we had so much of issues like, running into which country we need to go. And each country in Africa has its own unique thing that it caters to. So let me go down and break it down for you. So when you're planning your trip, you can figure out which country to go to. And I have my notes here, so I'm going to look into it and then read it out to you. So basically, Africa safari countries are the one which are towards the south and towards the east. So let me start from south. So the first country in the southern African continent is South Africa. So South Africa is best for the first time safari people, and it has like Kruger's National Park and Sabi-San Natural Reserve. So these two are the main places which talk about when we think about South Africa. So here you can get the big five, and you have an excellent leopard viewing. So if you're that person who wants to who's more into like leopards, this is the country. And so Cape Town is basically known for its world-class wine. So apparently, wine is amazing. And also there is a wildlife conservation reserve around here, which is mainly for rhino. So there's a lot of rhino. And also this is one country which is malaria free. So and plus I've heard like through the research that there's a good US dollar exchange. So these are the pros, or the reason why South Africa is best for the first time goers. So the first one is South Africa, and the second one is Botswana. And this apparently was the best safari travel for 2014. And it's almost the size of Texas, and so it is surrounded by South Africa. Then you have Namibia and Zimbabwe. So it stays right in between. And it has like Chobe River, which is apparently the the place where you have elephants, like the herd of elephants. So close to 50,000 elephants are around this river during the dry season. And also there is a delta, which is the place where all animals come and have water. So it's called Okavango Delta. So that is the place in Botswana. So basically the reason why you go there is also because you can see the big five, but here you have the wild dog sightings. So these are the second rarest carnivore dogs in Africa. So there's wild dogs there. And also there's meerkats. We have seen them in zoo. I've always been fascinated by the way they stand on two legs. So the meerkats are present here. And during November to March, you have the largest zebra migration. So if you want to go to Botswana, the ideal time is November to March. So the next country would be Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is actually the home to Victoria Falls, which is actually a UNESCO heritage center. And also there is Mana Pool. So around the Mana pools, you can have walking safari. So if you're into like walking safari and stuff, Zimbabwe is your thing. And also you have Hwange National Park, which is again home to 40,000 elephants. And you have the rhino conservation. So of course, and also Zimbabwe, through my research, I figured out has the best hospitality. But I don't know, like, we're going through a tour company, which I will probably talk to you guys later. I feel like African hospitality is really good. I don't know what they mean by, like, Zimbabwe hospitality is more superior. But right now, we're going to Tanzania, so the communication with them has been amazing. So the other one is Zambezi River, which you have a sunset cruise. So you have safari, you have the Mana pool where you can like actually do the walking safari, and you have the sunset cruise. So Zimbabwe is for that. And next you have is Zambia. So Zambia is called the hidden wonder or the hidden thing of Africa, because apparently not a lot of people go, so there's less crowd there. So here you get an alternative view for the Victoria Falls, and there's something called Devil's Pool where you can watch the preying action of animals. And also this is called the Valley of Leopards, so that is another big thing. So value, if you're into like leopards and stuff, like that is another big thing. Okay. And again, you have game fishing, sunset cruise, because it's so close to Zimbabwe. But Zambia has a lesser population compared to Zimbabwe, so if you're not into too much crowds and stuff, you can go to Zambia. Next is Namibia. It's Namibia. Okay, so sorry about that. This is apparently, it has a lot of sand dunes. So there is black rhino, elephants, and lions. And also there is red desert dunes, and apparently like the hot air balloons is more famous here. And there's also horse riding safari. So in Zimbabwe you had, in Zambia you had walking safari, but here you have horse ride safari. So you can actually ride through the horse. And again, you have a lot of helicopter trips because of the dunes. The dunes are apparently amazing in Namibia. So if you're into that person who loves desert and like wildlife and like safari, so this is your place. And again, so this was about the southern countries of Africa. Now moving to the east. So in the east, the first place that you have is Kenya. So in Kenya, again, it's an amazing place to watch the migration from August to October. So basically, the migration spreads from the south, central to north. So based on which month you're traveling, certain countries are best suited for migration. So between the months of August to October, it's Kenya. And you can, of course, do the wildebeest migration thing. And the second one is Masai Mara, of course. Like, that's the known conservation, like we all know about it. So it is a year-round game. You have year-round game drive, so it's not seasonal like other countries. So that's another advantage. And again, you have hot air balloon safaris. I have seen so many videos about this, and I have literally watched people cry when they go on these safaris, because you really get like a bird's view of the migration, the animals down. So if you're into like having it, I heard it's costing around like close to $500 per person, but a lot of people in my research say it's worth it. So we are not doing that in this time, but I don't know, in future probably. And also you have horseback riding safaris, and also you can actually go and blend with the Maasais and the Samburu tribe. So that's Kenya for you. Next to Kenya, you have Tanzania. That's where we are going right now. We zeroed down on Tanzania for a couple of reasons because it has a lot of parks and a lot of different, and this is the ideal time for us to go to Tanzania. So these are the reasons why we are going. So first one is, of course, there is the migration. So right now the animals are moving so we are going in March. So the animals are moving from south to central. So we're gonna have the best view in central Serengeti. So and also, like, compared to other countries in Africa, we realize the accommodation is much like the luxury accommodations are really good here because they're right in the park, and they have amazing amenities and stuffs like that. So, and also, of course, Kilimanjaro, like the breathtaking view, the Serengeti, Kilimanjaro, like that's the view you go for in Tanzania. And of course, if you actually take a flight, it's like an hour flight to the Zanzibar. If you're into, like, like you want to go to the beach and stuff like that, that's the next place. It's also called as Spice Island. So apparently Zanzibar has a lot of spices. So if you want like African spices, you can of course take it from there. So we are going to actually break down Tanzania for you in the coming vlogs, but this is just to let you guys know where all safaris are here. And also in Lake Mainara, you have the climbing lions. So basically, I hope we are going to we are going to Lake Mainara, but I hope we see the lions on the trees. So I'll break it down to you. So where we're going. And also, right now it is also like a budget friendly place. So the reason is like Tanzania has Serengeti, like, which is considered the best park for safari. So right now, Tanzania is where we're going. So the next country is Rwanda. I think Rwanda actually became famous after Ellen DeGeneres with the gorilla conservation and stuff. So of course, it is famous for the gorilla. And also it has like a lot of volcanic parks, and you can go gorilla trekking. And I have watched videos of it and it's amazing and breathtaking, but because we have a toddler, we could not do that. Like, you have to be 18 and plus to go on these trekkings. And also you have chimpanzee trekkings, and you have coffee to cup experience. So basically, Rwanda and Tanzania have amazing coffee plantations. So we'll be staying in one of the coffee plantations, which I'll talk to you about later. So that's about Rwanda. So basically, Rwanda is like safari, less of safari, more of like gorillas and chimpanzees and that kind of a stuff. And we have Uganda. Uganda is like considered the pearl of Africa. So here we have again gorilla, chimpanzee, and all the primate parks. So basically, Rwanda and Uganda are considered for primates. And you have amazing waterfalls, which is called as Murchison Falls. It's actually the world's most powerful waterfalls. And also you can witness the lion climbing, and you also have shoebill. That bird is apparently like very prominent in this country, in this area. So they are about the countries for safari. And you have two islands, that's Mauritius and of course Madagascar. So these two are the other places where you could visit when you're doing an excursion in the safari. So of course, the thing about Madagascar is they have turtle monitor. So here is the thing, there's like turtle, I don't know what you call it, but you can actually swim with the turtles, and it's so amazing. You can feed them, you can be in their own sanctity, and they come to you. So that's one thing. You can snorkel, and you also have like helicopter excursions, and you have lemur I don't know, trekking. So just to wrap up the safari, guys, you have the southern and you have the eastern. In southern, the countries that I mentioned to you about, their positives and negatives, I have attached every pros and cons of every country. So that's, doing all this, we figured out Tanzania is where we need to go. So in the coming vlogs, I'm going to talk about Tanzania and why we picked it and what is going to be our itinerary. So please like, share and subscribe, and wait for us for the next vlog where we talk about why we chose Tanzania. Bye.